iDiskiTV powered by World Sports Betting. iDiskiTimes.co.za. Marumo Gallants losing to Orlando Pirates in the DStv Premiership. Marumo Gallants have 10 matches to save themselves. Otherwise, they will find themselves in the Motsepe Foundation Championship, or the formerly known Glad Africa Championship, or the formerly known Mvela Panda Group League. Tso Vilakazi, our analyst, so I think let's just start straight to it. Dens Malisela, what do you do with him? Fire him, keep him there. He's number 16 in the log. He has 3 matches or 2 matches ahead of everyone else, and they still lead him by 3 points. The gap could even be 6 or 9 points between everyone else.
Mr. Ngiyo kunjani mfethu? Ngibulise wena, ngibulise Justice, ngibulise Junior, ngibulise nemakhaya. Cela support njalo la iDiskiTV. Nje nje njalo ngijike futhi. Mr. Ngiyo, when you decide ukuthi you fire coach Dance, who do you think is going to save you? That's another thing.
There's a phenomenon in football. It's called the new manager bounce. Chippa United kind of experienced it, that when they hired Morgan Mamila, they experienced the bounce for the first 4 matches. And of course, South Africans being South Africans, they were like, oh, you don't actually need licenses. I was like, this is a new manager bounce. It's a global phenomenon. Whenever someone new is there, everyone tries to impress him. I need to play 2. It lasts for about 3-4 matches, and then when as a coach, coach back. So be that as it may, so if you're sinking, your car is drowning, you can either decide to wind down the window whilst the car is drowning and get out and swim your way out, or you can just stay there. Yeah, but so you make a decision one way or the other.
Yeah, that's a tough one, Mr. Nkiyo, because really for Dance, it's Kunzima, and yeah, if they decide to release, it means already who's going to take over, because I get what you're saying, but in this situation, who can come in and really save them? Because I don't see anyone that is going to save them. They're out. Mr. Nkewu, when you look at the team, the way they're playing, even when you see now they've got a chance, but they, each chance their corner end up by something else. So I don't know, maybe they will get somebody that will come and save the team, and if they were gonna do that, then good luck for Marumo, but I don't see them really surviving this season. Dance, as they said, if he's not gonna win this game, unfortunately, Izembe should get Sabegwang, the Russia you were failing Izembe. Now I'm going to go the Pirates, he paid the chairman. To the little team, impossible. I know is them Bectala Mishahili. After back, I is Yaman and Kanza Kipurumus Palace Awenzo. Wow. Perazile Le Northwest. Affairs are capable as Awenzo. Wow. As niggas chairman, Ilundus and the present, and hold on to the boys. And but being too ill, Mr. Killman. When I saw my boy La Pana at the penalty. Being too ill with Maralumfana Lona. Una startup is being the thing. Ngepet the chairman against your former team, you're gonna take a penalty. Yeah, no, but now he did it, and good penalty, scored, and I saw him didn't celebrate. Yeah, you need to show respect to your former team. Mr. Nkewu, Paris, I will always wish them to win, but so wish I team win, but how could the Pirates? Because I would say the first 5-10 minutes, Marumo Gallants, they had 3 chances where I thought pass this one so that this one can score. They had 3 chances for them to score, and it didn't happen. So just imagine those 3 chances if Marumo be really. Maybe school mama just come 3-1. Or because it was going to happen before the penalty. Yeah, man. Okay, Mr. Nkewu, penalty is too soft, man. Yeah, it's too soft. But in footballing, what may be skipping? If you are 10,
I always say this when I'm watching these games with you guys.
Yeah.
I say if you play for Chiefs,
Yeah.
Orlando Pirates, all you need to do when they do this, just go down. Because what happens is most of these officials, and there's nothing malicious to that. Most of like all of us, now you had your favorite team. I have my favorite team when I was growing up. All of us, we have an inherent bias, and also the fans, the crowd plays a role now. Immediately when they do this and it goes down, everyone is saying penalty. So I immediately when that happened, I was like, this is going to be a penalty. I don't agree with it, but this is going to be a penalty.
Mr. Ngeo, when you get to that, mangene kitchen lapana, udiyangena lapha kuyashisa. Usenkingeni because more touch avelo socha. That's why they pen lapana. A touch, it's a penalty. Because one, singazama ukujustify and justify ngayo. But the main thing is that any action you do it inside the box, the referees, our referees, they give.
The difference is that it depends which team.
Yeah. Mr. Gale, you know when you've got these big teams, it's not easy. Ukuthi ungajika ufisa uGoliath umbheke emehlweni, you know, you uzomfuna uGoliath ngizomshaya uGoliath but uzoloku wenza kanje. So unfortunately it happens to these teams that when they play against which is Pirates, and it's always the case. I even said it to Guchuna ukuthi uLontuzana uSikhota had 2 penalties where they touch him just the touch whatever and they got a penalty. So I'm not justifying what happened to Ushando, but you know, unfortunately we play. It happens in this game where you play against these big teams. You do this, you're gonna get a penalty. Yeah, and unfortunately.
I want to ask you about Monapule Saleng, but I know the internet is full of nonsense sometimes. Okay, what do you make of Saleng? The internet is saying player of the season. I know that the truth is somewhere in the middle. You know, sometimes there could be the right, and then there could be the left, and then there could be the middle. Yeah. The truth is always somewhere in the middle. Some people will say he's an extremely bad player. Some people will say he's an extremely good player. All to find out. You know, he's a 5 out of 10 player who has good moments. What do you think, Ben? I know that a lot of people are saying player of the season.
Mr. Geo, you know, for me, he's one of the players that he's coming, you know, in a sense that, yes, there was some moment where he will come to the party and make things happen. And then after that, when you look at him again, he's quiet, you know. So, for me, not the player of the season. Yeah, no, I'm not going to count him player of the season. Maybe next season, if he can continue from now, whatever that he's doing now, because he's coming. He's not yet there, but he's coming. He's not. You know, Mr. K, when you look at him, he's not a player that you can really rely on him, or he can carry the team alone.
Here's the thing, too, about what you're saying. Then, Pirates are relying on him. He scored. He assisted, and scored last time. Yes. Some matches he scores 2 goals. It's not always consistent, but he is the shining star in that team. I know what you guys are looking at with him is that he's always looking down, does not know which is the right cross to make, is very selfish extremely. Fundamentals of the game really are not shining, but what the fan is looking at is something totally different. Yeah,
look, they will always love him because of he's the player that is shining for the team. He does make things happen in the team. So definitely they will love him and they will support him and they'll choose him as a player of the season. But you know, when we go to really analyzing his performance, decision making, the way he makes runs sometimes, and when he controls the ball, you know, those things they count in a sense that when we select you as a player of the season based on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Right, there you go. That's Orlando Pirates defeating easily Marumo Gallants as well. Remember, the last 2 seasons, player of the season was won by a player who struggles to trap the ball and pass the ball into space and run into space. What does it do? He does well scoring goals. Peter Shalulile. So that pretty much debunks what you're saying. Because in the last 2 seasons, the guy that always wins Player of the Season and nabanye badlali bamvotela is a guy who struggles with the trap. He's a guy who struggles. When he's in a wide position, he doesn't know how to cut it across, doesn't know how to cut it back. But anyways, we'll talk about it when we get closer to the end of the season. It is iDiskiTV, Diski Times, World Sports Betting. Thank you for watching.